morning.
I'm talking to Trish Switzer. Real name, I was surprised, is Patricia, right?
Yes.
Yes. And Trish is the mom of our Team USA's youngest athlete, Sarah Switzer. And I'm a big fan of Sarah, and I remember seeing Sarah's baby picture a long time ago. So will you please share?
Yep. So we found out at about 18 weeks that Sarah had spina bifida. And neither my husband Mike or myself knew anything about spina bifida, so it was a fire hose education. They told us when they diagnosed her that many people terminate a pregnancy involving spina bifida, and that we could do that and try again, but that wasn't a thing that we considered. So instead of that, we decided, how do we make her life the best we possibly can? They told us about a experimental surgery that was happening at Vanderbilt. So that was a Friday evening, and by the next Monday we were speaking with the perinatologist that did the surgery, opening the womb.
What year was that? When was this?
1999.
1999.
May of 99 she was diagnosed.
Okay.
By June 1st we were having a surgery where they cut me open hip to hip, delivered my uterus, opened my uterus, repaired her back.
So let's slow down a little bit. Let's slow down a little bit, and I'm going to try to keep this is a very emotional story for me. So what they did in that surgery, they opened you hip to hip, they removed your uterus from you, and then they removed Sarah from the uterus.
No,
they did not.
That she remained inside the uterus. They were covering much of this in various forms of media. So ours was covered by Life magazine, and if you look at that picture, if you Google "born twice," you'll see that born twice, Sarah Marie Switzer. They actually have my uterus sitting this way on me, turned it out this way, opened it up, and so the doctor positioned her around so that they could find the defect.
And do that part again. I was too close. So they pulled your uterus.
My uterus was sitting here, and they were looking at the back side of my uterus, cut it open about this much, and then operated through that hole inside of me. The earlier surgeries, a few of them, they tried to take the fetus out and operate, but they were very unsuccessful with that method. So then they tried to just keep the baby inside while they did the surgery, because your uterus starts going nuts and contracting. And they found that it contracted less if they left the fetus inside and then just opened that little hole, found the defect on their back and repaired the back, and then closed it all back up and reversed it all, and away I went pregnant.
So what was the defect in her back? What does that mean, spina bifida, for people that don't know?
Spina bifida in English means open spine. So she had, when you're first formed, you're a plate of cells, and it rolls over and it creates your spine and closes both up and down, so your lower spine and up to your brain. So the type of spina bifida that Sarah has is called myelomeningocele. That means that the nerves and the spine were essentially outside her body. It's like a zipper that fails to close in a particular spot. So it should have zipped up and down, forming the tail of her spine and up toward the brain. But her zipper got broken.
Her zipper got broken. I've had that problem, not devastatingly like that, but yeah. Okay, so thank you. Great explanation. So when they went in, what they did was they sewed her zipper closed. They sewed her spine closed.
They put the spine as best they could back where it would have been had she formed properly, and then they sealed up the layers around the spine and the skin tissue on the back.
I'd read something that said one of the challenges with spina bifida in utero is that there's that lesion there, or that openness, and the baby gets bumped around
Yes.
and that's what causes a lot of the problems.
Continued damage, yes.
Continued damage.
So what happens is often with the babies, they continue to develop more hydrocephalus, which is water on the brain. So the babies develop huge heads. Well, and the spinal tissue is damaged as they grow in there, and there's less and less room. It's rubbing on the exposed spine, and the cerebral spinal fluid becomes more and more acidic as the baby is developing, because more and more urine is poured into there.
Okay.
So all of those things together create more damage than when they stopped it, when they repaired it for her.
Okay. So we'll go back to closed her up, closed her spine, and the photo is of the doctor putting her arm back in?
Actually, it was before they repaired her. Her arm was right there, and he said, "Look at this." And he always said hello.
To the
first
babies?
hello to the babies. So
That's pretty awesome.
he was shaking her hand, and the neurosurgeon, so there are two sets of hands there,
Right, I saw that.
saying the first hello.
That is so phenomenal. Okay, so that was, boy, I'm sorry, world, that I have told her story wrong. Now we're getting it directly from the mom. I got a lot of this from reading
Yes.
the different articles that I
Yes.
read,
Yeah.
and that's a reason that I wanted to talk to you.
Yes.
And another is to share the emotion that we're sharing.
Yes.
And yeah. So so he said hello, did the procedure, and was she enough? Did they knock her out?
Anesthetized, yes. Well, I was under general anesthesia.
Yeah.
So by consequence, she was under general anesthesia during that time, because it goes through the placenta to her.
Right. And I remember, I don't think I made that up, that the doctor said she was going to be a beautiful girl. And that she is. I
Yeah.
didn't know that he didn't see her heart, but that's one of the things that I
Right.
see today.
Well, God has given her an amazing spirit.
Yeah. So, surgery put her back, sewed her up, sewed your uterus up. And how does it feel to have your uterus all over the photos in the world? It's a little private, I don't know
Yes,
that I'd
yes.
appreciate that.
Well, we thought it was very important. Mike and I are relatively educated people to be so ignorant of that, and to be kind of encouraged to terminate the pregnancy. We thought it was important for the world to know that there are other options, and that it is still a beautiful life.
It is a beautiful life. So, so then they sewed you back up,
Yes.
and that was in July.
Right. July 1st was the surgery. July 4th, I was released from the hospital.
That was Independence.
Independence. Yeah. Yep. Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So then my water broke early, 28 weeks. And believe it or not, yet another miracle in our lives. She was able to stay inside to 31 weeks. When she delivered at 31 weeks, she was able to do all the significant functions of suck, swallow, breathe. She had one day with a little NG tube, but she was alive and well. Her back was fully healed when she delivered. So
Moving her legs, I saw that, which is unusual.
Yes, she can move her legs, but a lot of it's not usable function. She can't make it happen when she wants. So in order for her to walk, she needs to have ankle-foot orthotics. So for those who don't know what that means, it's a bracing, and it's similar to walking in ski boots. So that just keeps her feet where they belong and supports her so that she can walk. She can't walk long distances because she doesn't have enough of the muscles and fatigues very easily, but she can walk.
Do you feel that the doctors encouraged you one way or another with their decision, your initial decision?
I think that so many people do terminate, that they, and also, believe it or not, there's a wrongful life lawsuit that some people bring against doctors who do not tell them about the possible outcomes, And so I think they painted the picture to be much grimmer than it really was. And fortunately, we asked for numerous second opinions even before we had the surgery. So we, like I said, fire hose education about what life was going to be like, and lots of prayer.
And lots of prayer. So what has life been like?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, your daughter is 17 years old and on the United States Disabled Water Ski team here at a tournament in Australia, and she set 3 personal best.
That's right.
Didn't make the finals, much to her dismay, but I mean, it is just phenomenal what her performance is. And myself, I've been delighted to watch her grow outside of herself, because she's an introvert, as you told me,
Yes.
a shy kind of girl, and
Yes.
watch her accept her peers and talk with her peers. It's been a delight to watch her blossom.
Yes.
So, how did you treat her when she was little? Did you treat her like she had a disability? I mean, what's her life been like?
Well, in the United States, there's early intervention school systems that come into your life, special education teachers, therapists, and the like, to help improve the outcomes. So that was different. You know, it wasn't just me alone, but early on, her dad and I looked at it like this is a team. Everybody that comes into our lives is part of Team Switzer.
Yeah.
So that means she has lots of fans everywhere.
Oh, she does, and that she does.
And, you know, she did a lot of the things on schedule. The big milestones for walking and things were a bit delayed, but she's come to it, and she does it her way.
Yep. So what do you want to say? Here's an opportunity to talk to, I don't know who we're going to get this to, but the idea is to take the time so that people can meet the parents of our younger athletes who were born or who weren't injured.
Yes.
And about the option that you had and you didn't take. And what do you want to say, not just to that, but to parents and to children with disabilities and young people with disabilities, people with disabilities?
I think you need to find a community of people that are out there getting after life and living as completely as they possibly can, whether they have disabilities or not. If you are around people that are properly centered, biblically centered, living life to the fullest, then you're in the right group of people, and you cheer for the best in everyone. You know, I tell her all the time, you don't have to oppose anyone. You do your best. It isn't necessarily the best, but you do your best and live to the purpose that God has called you.
Thank you so much for your time this morning.
You're
and
welcome.
for just for your time and your sharing. I really appreciate it, and so does everybody else.
Go
Let's
USA.
Yeah, let's go watch some water skiing.